Hi, this is going to be a video tutorial on the LDA documentation and R2T4 corrections. We're going to go over collecting the documentation for each class and LDA and putting that into ImageNow and where to route it. So first off, we need to look at the spreadsheet that was sent to each campus. Now, please note that all the data I'm using is dummy data. I'm using myself as a student and just using a template of some other information. We're pretending I'm in the Columbus campus just because. Alright, so we're looking at this and we see there are 3 classes or 3 LDAs we need to confirm. And they span over 2 different terms. So we have a LSS Math, a Perspectives class, and English Composition. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is collect all that information or collect all the documentation for these LDAs. Now, because these are seated classes, we need an actual class roster. This is a fake class roster for the English 101, and this is a image of a class roster for the LSS Math. All right, so we want to collect all this for these seated classes. Now, if it were a hybrid class, you would want to look at the class roster and the academic activity logs from the online side and pick whichever one is the latest. If it's just an online class, you're going to look at the academic activity logs. Alright, so we're going to collect all that information, and then we're going to fill out our PDF, which is a form that appends to the beginning of all the documentation. So I've kind of already done one here. It kind of gives everyone, makes it just easy to look at, excuse me. So we have the student name, the ID, campus, the term, and the 2 classes. So the math class gives an original LDA of 5/6/2015. We know that because our spreadsheet here, 5/6/2015, and our documentation, if we look at documentation for this, class roster shows that, here we go, my last date of attendance was 5/6. I was late, but I was still there. Let me know it's some math. Forgive the blurry. Alright. So we know that's good, and that's a valid date. We don't need a correction. Now the Perspectives class, the spreadsheet tells us we were our LDA is 5/4. However, if we look at our documentation, we'll pretend this is a whole class roster. Our documentation tells us that our last date of attendance was actually 4/28. And that does not match what is in the spreadsheet or the system. The system says 5/4. So we're going to put this here, and we're going to say this does need a correction. This is submitted by me, and today's date, which is okay. And this is for Registrar's office and financial aid officers to do. So we're going to save this. Yeah, we'll just copy over that, and we're going to go ahead and print this into ImageNow. And to do that, one way is we'll just print it from right here. Go to Print, select ImageNow Printer, and then Print. It'll ask you what capture profile to use. You're going to use R2T4 IN printer, which is ImageNow Printer, and it's in there. Okay. If we want to look and go into our workflow, because this will print it into the LDA documentation scan. Let's see if it gets there. Oh, There you go. So, here we are. Now, it's not linked, so it's just kind of there. So we've got to link it to this student. We're going to use U.I 4.5 financial aid / NAE as the application plan. And just like linking anything else, you're going to open up DataTel, and we're going to go to the NAE screen. And we're going to use this student. 3173215. And that's really all you need to do here. You're going to come over here and click that gold key. Auto populate. Now here in award year, this is where we're going to change to the term, the first 4 of the term, and we're going to make the location of this class. For this case, it's Columbus. Now, because this does need an LDA correction, we're going to make sure this custom property flag is a yes. Okay. All right. Let's save this. Now, before this goes anywhere, we have to attach the documentation we used to determine these to this file. To do that, let's come out of here. So this. Now, what did we use? We used these 2 rosters and this. So, Math 095 and the Perspectives 101. Now, another way of scanning these into image now is to just come over into Capture. Choose your Capture profile, File Import, R2T4 File Import. Go ahead and check this to Columbus. Where are you at? There we go. And we're going to pick Capture. Now choose the files you want to import. Math 95 Class Roster 1, 2, and Perspectives. So just highlight those. Click Open. They're in there. So if we go back to the workflow, let's refresh, see where they are. Sometimes this can take a moment. There we go. I paused the recording for a moment because it wanted to take its time. So we have the 3 class rosters. Excuse me. We have the 3 class rosters here. All right. And they're all separate. Now we need to append this to the form we're using here. Okay. To do that, let's go ahead and link all of these to the student. So I've still got the student pulled up here in Image Now. And obviously, like with appending, you want to make sure all the information is the same. So I'm going to link this page. The award year is still 15 SP, and the location is Columbus. The correction is yes, because it's going to the same document. So as we save, it'll ask me to append. Now I'm going to do this for all 3 of the documents, or the documentation for this LDA I just scanned in. And the last one here. Okay. Now we have one concise document that has this opening page, tells us everything we need to know, and then the documentation backing it up. Now because this does need a correction, we're going to keep this flag as yes, remember. Now we just want to route it forward. And when you click route forward, it will automatically push it on to the registrar's office for them to confirm and check everything. Boom. Routed. Now, we still have one class left on our spreadsheet. Let's pull it back up. This one. English and Comp, English 101. Now this is for 16FA CMP. So, Now we don't have a new page for this, so let's open our LDA document PDF here. We're going to need to fill this information back out. Kelly Starling. Oh. The student ID 317 3215. It's campus Columbus, and the term is 16 FACMP. Now, what course are we taking? Eng 101 and 810. And the original is 08/10/2015. Now we haven't confirmed it yet. We've got to get that documentation. Fortunately, we do. It's right here. What's this class roster say? Class roster says my last date of attendance was 8/10. It's absolutely right. So let's come back to this. Confirmed LDA 08/10/2015. It does not need a correction. No. Starling. And 03/09/2016. Let's go ahead and save this. And we're going to put it where everything else is. FA, CMP. Now let's go ahead and print this into Image Now. Remember, we do Image Now Printer. Print. It's going to ask me what to use. R2T4. Okay, it's there. Now let's go ahead and print this into Image Now too. Now you can do the same thing here. You go to File, Print, change this to Image Now Printer. I'm trying to do this in many different ways as possible. Print, it's going to ask you the same again. It's all in Image Now. Let's go to our workflow. We're in the LDA documentation queue. Okay, so we have both of our documents here. Alright, so we have this. Now let's go ahead and link it. I'm still pulled up over here in DataTel. So link. Now remember, the award year at this point is 16 FA CMP. We don't need that. 16 FA Columbus. Now, correction, it does not need a correction. This is the only class you have to worry about, and it is correct. So we're going to tell that to no. Let's save it. Okay. This is the class roster. Okay. Let's link it. 16 FA Columbus. Correction. Does not need a correction, remember, because this is going for the other. Save it. It's going to append. So now we have everything here together. This with the documentation confirming it. Now, it does not need a correction. We're just going to forward this, route it forward, and it's going to shoot it straight to a verification queue. Not the registrar's office. Alright, well that's pretty much how to run the process. If you have any questions, please let me or Elisa know. Thank you.